Okay, so it seems like recently there's been a lot surrounding the whole Bao situation. You guys know it's been absolutely taking over the VTubing space, and has kind of the big discussion has been going around has been what really makes up a VTuber, right? What really classes you as a VTuber? As obviously the whole situation with her bio, essentially saying VTuber, and now she's obviously doing a lot of IRL face posting content, right? Which obviously has people questioning, well, does this really make you a VTuber anymore if you're just going to do IRL content? Which again, I just don't think it does, right? I think at the end of the day, if you want to go and make IRL content, I think that's totally fine, right? And no one's stopping you from doing that. But I think obviously, holding on to that VTuber title or tag, sometimes, isn't exactly the play, especially if you are making that big switch to IRL content. Now, again, obviously, as I said, to me personally, it comes down to ratios. Obviously, I know some of you guys don't agree with that, but I think that obviously, if there's a certain percentage that you're using your VTuber model, then sure, I think you can mix it up. I know some people are much more hard on it, saying you can't show your face whatsoever. If you show your face, you're not a VTuber altogether, even if you only show it once or whatever. Which again, some people have that opinion. Me personally, I don't, just because I know so many VTubers in the space that show off their face, and I feel like I still consider them a VTuber. Right, obviously Kason being one of them. You can see she's actually live there. I wish she got her face. Oh no. Oh, she's VTubing today. Okay, so yeah, of course, that's some of the people that I think of, but many people have many different opinions about it. And I did come across this one clip from Kanara here, essentially talking about kind of like a analogy to explain this Bao VTuber drama and why some people are upset about it. So let's just play it.
I want to eat the steak today. I'm wanting a steak. And then you Google steak factory. And then you see, oh, I want a steak. This is a steak factory. Let's go to the steak factory and get a steak. Because that's what happens when you go to the steak factory. You get a steak. You drive to steak factory and you knock on the door. You're like, hello, can I have a steak? And then the steak factory says to you, we have waffles. What? If steak factory, why waffle? Well, we sell steaks and we're still a steak factory, but we also have waffles. And we're doing a lot more waffles now instead of steaks. Then change to waffle factory then. Yeah, but we're still a steak factory. People like steaks, and steaks are popular. So to get people into the store, we say we're a steak factory instead of a waffle factory. And we just hope you take the waffles once you're here. And then you just kick the guy in the face and you rob him.
Because I don't know about this that last part, but you guys get what what she means there. And I think it is actually a good analogy. I'm gonna be honest, right? You go to a steak factory and they're not selling steaks, they're actually selling waffles. They're doing waffles a lot more now. So yeah, they're just hoping that you come into the door thinking that you're getting steaks, and instead you're getting waffles, which I think is a good example as to how the kind of Bao situation has gone recently. But obviously there's been a lot of responses too, which I kind of wanted to go through. Obviously a lot of people have been talking about it, saying so people are losing their stuff over immersion. Now that Bao seems to be pivoting to IRL content, is it justified? Now, again, I don't think it is just about immersion. I don't think people are caring about the immersion as much as some people are caring about other things, to be honest. I think, a big part of it is just due to the labeling and using VTubing as a label to kind of draw people in and stuff like that. I think it's much more nuanced than just people being upset about the immersion breaking. I don't think that many people do care about that kind of stuff. So yeah, saying Bao started out IRL streaming and her IRL face was known from before because a long time her channel was still called Hikaru Station. She only stopped because she didn't feel confident and went to VTubing. Bao is one of the VTubers. There was never much immersion if you followed her from the beginning, which again, I think if you want to go from IRL to VTubing, I don't think that's a problem, right? I feel like that's fine. Saying from a content creation standpoint, not really. They can be disappointed and just leave or keep moving. If she's switching up all her content, she can do that if she wants. It'd be a different story if she started lashing out and getting mad at people because they only liked her for the model if viewership started dropping. Saying, I'm happy that she seems more confident in a non-simpy way. Which, yeah, I mean, fair enough. Saying people are hating, I think it's fine, to be honest. She already did quite a bit of IRL stuff, just now has the facial expressions DLC, which again, obviously, yeah, I do think that is true. But of course, I think there is this whole thing of like, you know, let's be real. If we go through like her social media, it's just all face posts now, right? I mean, it does really get to a point where it's just like, okay, maybe you are just a VTuber anymore. Like, here we go, like one clip. Okay, we can keep going, right? Okay, there we go. We got a clip. So this is the face reveal. We got two VTuber clips, and then face, one VTuber clip, and then all just face, right? Which again, obviously, you know, she has been doing IRL streams before, just not with her full face. But I think whatever stuff like your Twitter, your Instagram, all this kind of stuff just isn't a VTuber model or anything like that. I mean, you know, that's what people are arguing doesn't really make a VTuber in that sense, right? Saying, I mean, if you aren't in the IRL content, just unfollow her. What's the point of complaining on Twitter? And I think that is fair enough, right? If you don't want to watch Bao's IRL content, I think that is fine, right? You don't have to watch it. You know, I think that's, you know, whatever. But if you want to continue watching it, and if she doesn't, you know, use the word VTuber to milk it, I think that's also fine too, right? If she wants to go and create IRL content, try something a little bit different and whatever, I think that is also totally okay. I don't have any problem with that. And I think a lot of people don't have any problem with that. It's just more so, I think, the attachment to VTubing and the kind of like, you know, in the middleness of it, I think people are not so happy about, right? Like the, am I a VTuber, aren't I a VTuber thing is the kind of thing that people are upset at, rather than like, you know, nobody's going to be upset at like a VTuber pivoting to IRL content unless it's for like some reason to get away from stuff, which again, some people do claim with Bao. But of course, you know, nobody's going to be upset if they just completely change their content. It's more so just people using VTubers as like a platform to kind of get people in the store, as they say with that analogy, and then obviously be like, okay, well, now I'm doing IRL, right? Which is the thing that I think people are mostly mad at. I feel lied to. She's not an actual whale. Does she even go to the ocean? Thing. It's not like she stopped VTubing too. She can do both. It's not a big deal. Lars said, yeah, Kason's been doing it for that for years. Hell, one of the most famous bit of X Company is the reaction daisy chain to an IRL Kason clip going full circle back to her. Which, yeah, saying to me, she'll always be with the one barking at Blade. Nothing will change that peak content. But I mean, her shift into a face reveal was very apparent over the last year. She was starting to do more IRL streams at home for quite a while. I knew she would do a face reveal at some point. Plus, I think she'll still use her VTuber model, just not as often. I mean, Lena does the same thing. She does a mix of IRL and VTuber content. She will always be the same boba. Which again, I think it is just like, yeah, one of those things where there is plenty of VTubers out there, as they say, Lena, Kason, and people who do a mix of content, but I think they do the mix of content quite well, right? I think they obviously manage to keep up both sides of the VTubing and IRL aspects, which, to be honest, me personally, I don't have an issue with. I know some people do have an issue with it, which is fair enough. But of course, me personally, I don't care. You know, I like Kason's content, both, you know, IRL and VTuber. Same with Lena as well, right? But of course, it's just like depending on how Bao does that, right, in the future. Because obviously, if we go to her Twitch here, you know, we can see the types of streams that she's been doing. As you can see, it's been like VTuber and things like that. And then you can see a lot of these have just been IRL lately, right? And you know, it's fine to have a stint of like IRL streams if that's what you want to do. Also, the Twitch application sucks so bad, there we go, that it doesn't work sometimes. Anyway, sorry, I get so mad at Twitch sometimes. But you can see, right, it's just mainly, it's been IRL content for the last 12 days or so. Okay, no, last 16 days, last 17 days. So for, yeah, you know, there hasn't been a single, you know, VTuber stream since last month, right? And of course, you know, she does, you know, here it is, you can see her doing like VTuber streams, and then here's like an IRL one with her still with the mask on before she did the face reveal. I think that kind of like content would be fine, right? If you can see like it's 1, 2, you know, VTuber, IRL, VTuber. I think that's fine, right? But obviously, as you can see, the reason why people are asking, okay, well, is she really a VTuber now, is because it's gone IRL, right? So again, it is that's just all the stream now, right? So that's why people are wondering what is going on. That's why people are a little bit confused. about whether she is a VTuber or not anymore, because she hasn't made any VTuber content in the past, what, 17 days, what month, really? Because last month, right? So yeah, you know, that's why people were confused. That's why people were asking the question. So yeah, I think that is why, you know, this kind of gets turned upside down, I guess, whenever it comes to this whole conversation, right? But yeah, I do think it's pretty interesting just to read the responses to a lot of people. And again, I thought that analogy that I just showed you earlier in the video was quite funny too. So I thought I'd share that. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code CRAZIER, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. So, see ya.